really excited to have all of you guys as a part of this. So this is part of the Startup Grind. This is part of the Startup Grind Boston event series. Startup Grind actually started out in Silicon Valley.
Jason, you just got muted over there.
Okay, so it's not just me. I had like a moment. I was like, is it me? As I'm like looking around and no one's saying anything.
Jason, can't hear you.
I honestly thought it was my internet because there's construction on my street. And I was like, oh no, not right now.
Jason doesn't want to talk today at all.
Fine, I'll run the show. I'll kick things off for you, Jason.
All right, I think it should be working now.
Yay, we can hear you.
All right. Well, at least it happened at the beginning and not in the middle of the presentation here. But yeah, I'm not sure how much of that got through, but excited to kick off the Startup Grind pitch competition here. Startup Grind started out in Silicon Valley 11 years ago, and just was the founder wanting to learn from other founders and investors, really just doing fireside chat formats in a meetup group. And it expanded into, now there's 500 different chapters around the world in over 100 different countries. And we come together every year for several big conferences. There's actually a Europe conference next week virtually, Tuesday and Wednesday, for anybody that wants to check that out on the main Startup Grind website. And yeah, we actually partnered this year with Pitch.Tech, which is part of the .tech domain. So they create domains using the .tech extension and have a variety of other services and resources around them for early stage tech companies. So definitely check out their website, connect with us through Startup Grind, and we have a variety of sponsors and partners here to help startup companies. And two of our partners we actually had the pleasure of bringing on as featured judges tonight. So we'd love to introduce Stephanie Roulic from Startup Boston and Tom Maloney from Boston New Technology. If you guys want to give a quick introduction, Stephanie, you can start there as well.
Okay, so hey guys, my name is Stephanie Roulic, really excited to be here. As Jason mentioned, I am the founder of Startup Boston. Startup Boston is a volunteer-driven organization that's really on a mission to connect and educate the startup community here. Our flagship event is Startup Week in September, but we also do a lot of things on a monthly basis. And the reason why I started Startup Boston is because I co-founded a marketing tech startup called nDash back in 2016. Left a couple months ago and joined a new startup to run customer success called Goldcast. So I love the startup scene. I love creating startups, and I can't wait to hear all of your awesome ideas.
Perfect. And Tom, if you want to give an introduction as well.
Hi all, my name's Tom Maloney. I do a lot of networking and connecting around the Boston area, but my background is NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is a science and the study of the mind, how we communicate with ourselves and with others. I have a few different programs that I do. I'm also co-host of Boston New Technology, one of the largest meetups in the world. We have 50,000 people in that group. I'm also co-host of Boston Entrepreneurs, which is called Revolve Nation. I also just found out last week, I'm also co-host of Boston Bitcoin. So I do a lot of networking and connecting. I teach a lot of networking. If you ever want me to speak for a 15-minute session about networking and the pros and cons of what you're doing in networking, I'd be more than happy to do that. So happy to be working with Stephanie. She is a powerhouse. And Jason, I've known quite a few years, who's one of the powerhouses around Boston. So welcome you all. Any questions you got? I'm here. My website is prestartup.co, not .com, .co, or tommaloneycoach.com. Can't wait to
Perfect.
hear you.
Yeah, no, with that, I'm excited to kick this off. And our first presenter is going to be Jennifer with Wig Nation. And again, all the presenters here are going to have give a 2-minute presentation followed by 3 minutes of Q&A. And yeah, if everybody in the audience could just mute their mics as well. And yeah, excited to turn over the stage. And Jennifer, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Jason. Give me 1 second to kind of set up. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome. Let me know when I can begin or.
You're good to go.
Cool. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer, and I'm the founder of Wig Nation. After countless horrible online purchasing experiences, I knew something had to be done to make the process much easier. That is why Wig Nation exists. Wig Nation utilizes AR technologies to drastically reduce the amount of time it takes for a buyer to make a purchasing decision by allowing them to try on the product before they purchase. Our go-to-market strategy is to target the $20 billion hair industry, which allows users to try on wigs, extensions, and hair pieces from the comfort of their home. With Wig Nation, customers who usually take 3 weeks to make a purchasing decision will go from awareness to purchase in 3 minutes, which not only benefits them as customers, but also our vendor partners. Although we are pre-launch, we have already won IN3 Labs pitch competition, secured a seat in Miles and Stockbridge's Black Founder cohort, and are ready to launch in late summer 2021. I've already developed a community of 45,000 hair enthusiasts who are eagerly awaiting our product launch. Currently, we are seeking $120,000 in pre-seed funding to complete our branding in preparation for our launch. Wig Nation will make it easier for millions of shoppers to choose products they love. I hope that you can be a part of that story. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to answer any questions now.
Great pitch. Yes, Stephanie or Tom, if you want to kick off any
Yeah.
questions there.
So I love this idea. I love how you're kind of speeding up the buy-in cycle. That's definitely a value add. I'm really curious, like the 45,000 people for a wait list is amazing. So I'm just kind of curious, like how you got that list and if it's also going to be the strategy that you're using when you go to market.
Yes, great question. That 45,000 was acquired through Clubhouse. I'm one of those who are in the Clubhouse Creators Program. So I've been able to utilize Clubhouse by literally talking about hair in general. My club is the largest hair club on Clubhouse, period.
That's awesome. Did not see that coming. You go, girl. I could definitely ask another question as well, but I don't want to take away from other people's. Does anyone else have a question? Otherwise, I'll ask my second one I wrote down.
Go ahead, Stephanie. I'll ask
Right.
mine after.
I always have questions. So I love that marketing strategy. So to kind of go into the second part that I was curious about, for your pre-seed, is that going to be for hiring people on your team? Is that going to be expanding above and beyond the Clubhouse marketing strategy? Kind of what are you using that money for?
It's going to be both. It's going to be to expand beyond Clubhouse first and foremost, and then looking to hire. Gotcha.
Cool. Have you thought about what you're doing outside of Clubhouse? I'm just going to ask the follow-up and then people can I promise.
After Clubhouse, probably going to use a bit more old school method in terms of creeping through Facebook groups that focus on cancer patients, hair loss patients, and also first-time wig buyers. What has started happening is with talking on Clubhouse, people have been climbing in my DMs asking, hey, how do you do X, Y, and Z in terms of buying hair online? And it's been me coaching one-on-one.
I love that. I love that. You're doing something right. Awesome. I will open up the floor if other people have questions.
Jennifer, my question is, you said people are going to be able to make this decision in 3 minutes. Yes. Are you going to ship the wigs to them for them to try on, or do they have to go to a store of yours? How are they going to do that?
Good question. So our technology is going to allow them to visualize what style would look good on them, and then we'll connect them directly with one of our vendor partners, who then is responsible for the shipping and logistics of the actual item.
So it's all online. They're going to get all this consultation about what works best for them and what they should do and not do. Then somebody local will contact them or ship to them the wig to try on. Can they return the wig if it doesn't
So-
work out?
No, good question, Tom. So everything will be done through our mobile app, which right now is on test flight. Well, will be on test flight once we deploy for iOS and Android. And essentially, you will be able to do everything, which is visualize, select, and actually purchase all entirely on the mobile app. As I mentioned, the vendor partner will be responsible for the actual shipping and returning.
Okay. Okay, now let's open it up to other questions.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, if there's one more, I think, yeah, we have time for like one more question if anybody in the audience has one.
Okay, I'll ask the next question. So basically then I understand that the vendor is going to be responsible for shipping, which is great, but that also kind of sparked another follow-up I want to ask. So are you making money just based off of a fee, like connecting that person to the vendor, or do you have a different pricing model?
So we have a sort of dual pricing model. Number one is directly to consumers, charging them based upon what services. So we have a personal consult service. We also have a vendor search service. So depending on what service they actually select. And then we have a B2B model for our vendor partners, depending on how big the vendors are.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, great job. I put your Pitch.Tech link in the chat. So everybody, yeah, please check out Wig Nation and yeah, connect with Jennifer to learn more as well.
Thank you.
Really excited.
Jason, you got a
yeah,
question from Tanya.
Yes, hi. I have a question for Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. This was a great presentation, and your product looks really exciting. I just wanted to find out about the technology behind it. So, is this computer vision or like what exactly, or like augmented reality? I didn't hear you going through that part. Can you please just speak to that quickly? Thank you. Excellent presentation again.
Thank you so much. So we are using a bunch of amazing technologies, but starting off with augmented reality for you to actually visualize it. And then we are developing a machine learning algorithm, which actually will hit certain points on your face and then make the suggestions for you of the actual styles and then have that connected to the vendors. The technology we have developed ourselves. I have a chief AI and data scientist whose background is in AI, machine learning, and facial. He is also a professor at the University of North Carolina.
Perfect. Yeah, great question. Great response there. And yeah, excited to bring up Manali Shah from Peri Weddings, and yeah, turn over the floor to you for our next presentation here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Manali, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Peri Weddings. So South Asian weddings in the United States are a huge affair. We're talking 30,000 weddings a year, each with an average cost of $285,000. Now, on top of this, add in the complexity of 10 to 15 outfit changes, 300 to 500 guest count, and much, much more. It makes the wedding planning process very stressful for South Asian couples. Many of them usually spend 1 to 2 years of their time just planning their wedding or spending an additional $15K on a wedding planner to coordinate the whole thing. But what if I told you there was another way that was easier and simpler to go about this? So I'm introducing Peri Weddings. Peri Weddings is an online wedding directory where South Asian couples can find the wedding vendors that they're looking for based on prices, reviews, and more. Couples can go to our site, select their city and guest count, and pick and choose the vendors that they're most interested in, from a range of categories such as henna, decor, venues, and many, many more. At the end, they'll get a wedding tool that's catered to their needs and budget. We are the first company amongst our competitors to offer such a unique and automated wedding planning tool, and we've gotten great traction so far. Since our launch back in October, we've had about 5,000 customer sessions. We have 1,000 vendors listed on our site, and that number is only growing as we expand to other cities in the US and Canada. And lastly, we've had some great press with Yahoo News, Poets and Quants, and many other publications. So now you're probably wondering how we make money. So we've identified 3 different revenue streams. The first is through vendor fees, The second is through ads and sponsored posts. And the third is through an affiliate marketplace that we will be launching later this year. So that's a little bit about us, what we do, and how we make money. If you're interested to learn more, please follow us on our social media, especially on Instagram at Peri Weddings. Thank you so much for your time.
Great presentation. Yeah, excited to turn it over to Tom and Stephanie to, I guess, Tom, if you want to kick this one off.
But no, I didn't hear, how much money are you looking to raise?
Yeah, so we are looking to just raise about 10,000 for now.
10,000 US?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we're pretty much using that money to kind of assist us with more of our marketing and digital marketing efforts to gain more of a customer base.
Okay, just second question. Is your market going to be to people who are in the US, or it doesn't matter, is it worldwide?
No, so right now it is just in US and Canada, and our market is primarily South Asian couples around the ages of 18 to 34. That's kind of where our huge customer base is, but basically just any South Asian couple in US and Canada.
Great. Stephanie.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned you have 5,000 customer sessions. I'm curious, like, are those 5,000 paying customers, or like, do you have paying customers yet? Maybe would be a better follow-up from that.
Yeah, so right now we are a free service. We want to make it free for couples just because, they're the ones who are stressed out by this whole thing. Yeah. So the 5,000 customers is based on the wedding plan tool that we have. So after the couple goes to their card and selects all their vendors, they get emailed a wedding plan that has that lists like all their vendors and the costs associated with that. So that's where the 5,000 customers came from, because 5,000 of them downloaded that wedding plan. As of now, we are pre-revenue just because we didn't think it made sense to charge vendors, at a time when no one's getting married. So we're looking to charge vendors hopefully by end of this year, since the wedding season is picking up, or early next year. So we'll be revenue generating early next year.
Gotcha. Okay. And then sorry, I just had a question. I need to remember it for a quick moment. Mm-hmm. Of those vendors that you're charging, because I know you mentioned vendor fees and ad and sponsored post, I guess, how many vendors would you have to have paying you in order to break even, for example?
Yeah, so right now I would say the good thing about our company is that we're doing a lot of the stuff in-house. We do have an offshore SEO and marketing team. In terms to break even, so right now with 1,000 vendors that we have, we're assuming maybe about 10 person will probably sign up. And from that, the vendor charge that we would be charging these vendors would be about $100 annually. So I would say that in order for us to break even, maybe we would need about 50 some vendors to sign up, at least in the first year, just so we can break even and recoup our costs. But however, we're hoping that we'll get more vendors signed up early next year.
Gotcha. And then lastly, why 10K? It just seems like such a small number. So I just wasn't quite sure why that number.
Yeah, so right now our main focus is just on expanding our functionalities and capabilities. We want to use the 10Ks mostly just for our web development and SEO costs. Since we're doing most of that stuff offshore, the costs are not as big as they would be in the US. So right now we just want to start small and focus on the area where is the most need. And then from there we can start raising money and going forward.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, great presentation, great answers there. If there's one quick question, we can take it from the audience. Just raise your hand here, and then our next presenter is going to be Winston from Agogo. Cool. And yeah, if not, we can jump right in. Yeah, great job answering all the questions there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, excited. Again, we put the link in the chat to the Pitch.Tech page, and definitely connect offline or through there for more information. Winston, excited to bring you up and have you as our next presenter here.
All right, thank you, everyone. My name is Winston Daley, and I'm the founder of Agogos. In 2020, the U.S. engaged in a national discussion about racial equity and representation. The idea that in this country, people of all races should see themselves in positions of leadership and power. One of the first places we all encountered leaders at an early age is in our schools. but our schools currently lack the representation that is needed for all students. As the demographics of our country have shifted, schools have really struggled to diversify their teaching staffs. And currently 50% of all of our K through 12 students identify as Black, Latinx, or Asian, but only 20% of our teaching staff does. And 40% of our public schools do not even have one educator of color on staff. That means for students like my daughter, they have very few opportunities to see themselves as leaders. Schools have been unable to connect with educators of color and those outside of their networks. My solution to this problem is Agogos. Agogos is a digital hiring platform and community of practice for educators of color. Our goal is to help in 3 key areas. 1, hiring. Via Agogos, educators have the ability to create dynamic digital portfolios that truly show who they are and what they bring to the classroom. It allows you to see more than a normal paper resume. It is also an immediate searchable database for educators and schools where schools can contact you immediately about any open position, removing the limited nature of K through 12 hiring. Number 2, retention. Agogos is a community of practice where educators can now have the ability to connect with each other and our national network of nonprofits to share curriculum, professional development tools, and all the emotional supports needed to thrive and continue in our very important profession. Number 3, growth. We have a problem with the teacher pipeline. Agogo seeks to help in expanding the teacher pipeline by being a digital one-stop shop for educators of color, creating a space for paraprofessionals, substitute teachers, career changers, high school students, anyone who wants to enter the field of education, again, removing the barriers of lacking a network and lacking someone who can support you. I've spoken with over 100 educators, and one constant is how much their community of supporters help them not only to enter the profession, but also to push forward and thrive. And as one school leader said to me, if you had a place where I could connect with all the educators of color, I would pay you for that right now. That is what Agogos is, career and community. Join me in bringing innovation to our educational system and shaping our future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great pitch. Yeah, really excited to turn it over and yeah, hear the questions that that our judges have, and any audience questions as well.
Yeah, so that was a really good pitch. I could tell that you rehearsed that a lot. So a couple, yeah, I was like, but damn, he definitely stood in front of a mirror. That makes sense. So really well done. A quick question for you. So I fully understand the need to hire, more diverse teachers to really educate children here. My big question is how do you plan on getting the schools to sign up for this platform? Because I do know that when you do sell to educational institutions, there's so many different, I guess things you have to hop over.
Yeah, there are a couple of barriers with
thank you.
They have a unique sales cycle, which really runs from about March through June. What Agogos is doing is we're positioning ourselves there in cost. We're around $2,000 per school, which puts us under the limits where you need upper level sign off. I think most sign offs start at about $10K. We have to go to your superintendents and your principals and your school committee. We're there at $2,000, which slots us right into all of your recruiting budgets and is affordable for almost all school districts.
Gotcha. And then for those schools, is it going to be word of mouth to get them on board? Is it going to be what's your strategy for getting them to sign up?
It's both. What I found is that HR directors and folks in schools are willing to try almost anything to get the teachers. There's such a need. So word of mouth first, also blind outreach, which has worked so far. Also, everyone in education and HR is very open to sharing. And then, of course, once we have some traction, there's the ability to go with more Facebook posts and more dedicated posts through, educational circles and superintendents.
Okay, cool. And then last question. I have this theme of questions I asked people. Yeah. Everyone's going to know now going forward. It's fine. I have a pattern. But basically, I understand each school, it's 2K. I think that's super smart in terms of how it's under the limit. Are there other ways you're going to be making money, or is that going to be the one revenue stream?
Well, we're starting off with selling the schools as a recruiting service. And then secondarily, we'll have a place where we can position ourselves to ed tech companies, where educational tech companies will have the same issues that schools have had, where they've not been able to reach teachers of color as well with their products. So we have the ability to have a real concentrated marketing space that of customers that they have not been able to reach historically. And that's our sector.
Interesting. I didn't see that answer coming. Cool. Awesome. No, I like it. It's good. It's different.
Thank you.
Winston, I love the idea. How much money are you looking to raise?
Looking to raise $350,000 pre-seed. That takes us through our development. I'm sure, as everyone knows, developing a tech platform is incredibly expensive. That gives us a little bit of a roadmap and a lead up to about 18 to 24 months in terms of developing our tech and keeping our CTO is able to handle all of our tech in-house, but it does cost a lot to hire some outside developers. And it helps us also with our marketing arm.
Do you have any clients already?
Currently, our tech is under development. So the clients that I do have are folks that I've just met through education. I've been able to do some manual matching and also been able to keep some educators of color in some hiring cycles and loops by being able to vouch for them and share their resumes and credentials. So it's really it's sort of the product before the product.
Okay.
I don't have any
Other
more
questions?
I don't.
Yeah, no, I love, yeah, great pitch. Love all the positivity in the chat too on everyone's presentations, even, you know, all the startups that are competing with each other tonight, cheering each other on. And yeah, the rest of the audience, you know, great feedback and comments in there as well. So yeah, great presentation, Winston. Excited to bring up Mateus as our next presenter here as well.
Thank you very much. Give me one moment so I can share my screen.
Perfect.
There we go. All right. All right. So I think everybody can see this. This is good. All right, great. So my younger sister has always been active in all kinds of sports until she suffered the same knee injury twice within a span of 5 years. And that took her out of sports indefinitely because it completely shook her confidence in doing any physical activity. I'll never forget how it made her feel. Is there something that the coach could have corrected to prevent this from happening? In 2019, I did some research and finally got my answer. Was there anything the coach could have seen to prevent this? No, but a sensor, there's a whole lot that a sensor could have seen. My name is Mateus Tura, and I'm the founder and CEO of Xtruo. I want to transform the way that athletes train by analyzing their movements to provide them with recommendations on how to improve their performance. Our product includes a mobile Bluetooth sensor suite that's attached to the athlete's lower body, and their data is presented in a user-friendly mobile dashboard to provide them with key insights they can take action on. Even though an injury prevention device sparked the original idea, Xtruo is better marketed as a performance optimization tool. The reality is that performance optimization and injury prevention are connected. Improving one improves the other. Sort of like our team. I'm focused on sensor and front-end development, and Jaden handles web development and marketing. Xtruo can be used in any kind of sport, and we're starting with track and field. After conducting over 100 interviews, we learned that 4 coaches are usually responsible for up to 80 athletes, making it impossible to create a personalized training plan. We're using key injury risk indicators to evaluate an athlete's fitness level and help coaches optimize their limited time. There are options out there, but their limitations have stopped them in their tracks. These options are either incredibly labor intensive or they utilize a single node for data collection. Our assessor suite costs $700 and takes in data from multiple sources on an athlete's lower body during all track exercises and provides them with specific metrics and the tangible benefits in one platform. Meanwhile, the $20 subscription model provides coaches with granular access to this information online, which is a much more reliable and effective approach. We're incredibly excited about the work that we're doing, and we're looking for the right additional partners. Please reach out to us at info@xtruo.io to help us take one step further in creating a product that helps people move better. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, great presentation. Yeah, ready to open it up to questions. And yeah, again, anybody else can also submit questions in the chat or feel free to raise your hand as well. But yeah, happy to turn it over to Stephanie and Tom.
Mateus, how much money are you looking to raise?
Yes, we're looking to raise $150,000. And that's going to be used to bring on a data scientist who's going to help us analyze the data and extract the valuable the values from the data itself.
Okay, you said your cost is $700 and the subscription is $20?
Yes, sir. So the sensor suite is actually going to be used by 2 athletes, and they are attached to the athlete's lower body. And then the $20 subscription model would be to provide coaches with additional granular information on what's happening to their athletes.
Okay.
Quick question. You said it's used across all sports. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I said that this can be used for across all sports, and we're starting with track and field.
Got it. Okay. But then quick question. So for that, and maybe you haven't gotten to this part yet, but like, because track and field is very different from like golf, for example. And I know my brother, he's an avid golfer. He has his own app that actually analyzes his swing and gives him all of that data. And I know that every single sport, especially if you're trying to like be really great at it, like there is something out there. So I'm just trying to figure out like, is this for those types of people, or is this for like the high school athletes, or, you know, the people like me who just like to do sports for fun? Like, I'm trying to figure out like who like the exact audience is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the audience would be, to start off, it would be collegiate track and field athletes. And so after that, we would probably continue to build out our platform and portfolio in different collegiate sports. And then from there, we can, very quickly move into the different, like more professional realm, while also keeping in mind, well, I think, to be honest with you, at that point, once we have a firm footing on the collegiate sphere, I think we would have to reevaluate whether or not it's more fruitful to go down a mass production type of route or specialize in the professionals. Either way has its benefits and downsides, but that's definitely something that we'll have to, a decision that we'll have to make once we get there.
Yeah, for sure. And then just one more quick question. I'm so sorry if I missed this. I was noodling and taking notes a lot. Is it like an app and a hardware that people get, or?
That's correct. So it's a sensor suite, and then it's also a mobile dashboard as well.
And then that sensor suite, like for instance, if you're selling for a college, they could use it on multiple athletes?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. So what would, sorry, if I get into this, guys. And don't take any of the follow-up questions as a bad thing. I just like to know how people are thinking. So I guess like, what is your upsell model if you've thought of that? Just because like, if you're a college and you have like 20 athletes, let's say they're like, is there a limit to how much data per athlete you'd store? Like, would you cap it out? We're only going to store data for 5 athletes in this app so that you have to upgrade or something like that?
Yeah, great question. So practically speaking, there are numerous ways that coaches can be creative about taking advantage of this technology. And so we are definitely going to have a cap on the number of athletes that can be, that this technology can be used for. But it will fall under the purview of the 80 athletes that coaches will usually have in their roster. But then if they need additional people to have access to the information, that would be additional costs. If they want to use this tool for recruiting purposes, then that's also an additional cost as well. And so those are some of the other ways that we were anticipating upselling as well.
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Perfect. Yeah, great job. Yeah, again, I put your link in the chat for everybody to connect and learn more, reach out to you. And yeah, great job there. Excited to bring out Akil from Xena as our next presenter.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. We have heard so many high impact pitches so far. I'd like to start off with a very short story, if I may. This is Mark. Mark is a small business owner. He has a wife and 2 very beautiful kids. Mark sells a variety of products in his small business. But then when the pandemic hits, he saw that all his customers started running away from him. He lost a lot of money and he was not able to pay his mortgage. Mark definitely went into depression. Then Mark thought, why not put all his products up on e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Walmart? And then he fell in love with the idea because honestly, he has no other option at this point. Then he discovered that he was not making any sales because of high competition. Then Mark decided to run ads on these platforms, but soon realized that because of high ad spend, referral fees and consultant fees, he was essentially making peanuts at this point. Mark was desperate, so he decided to meditate on his problem. And then he came across Xena Intelligence, who came as a godsend for Mark. In its core, Xena Intelligence is an algorithm which automates the pay-per-click ad campaigns that happens in platforms like Amazon and Walmart. It uses proprietary algorithm to identify which keywords are high performing, separates them, and puts ad dollars in those keywords. It also uses smart data analytics to tell sellers like Mark on what products to sell next. The only thing Mark has to do right now is open his app, and with just a single click, all his keywords are optimized, all his competitors are targeted, and he's also able to see how much he's going to sell in the next 30 days. And so Xena was able to take Mark to the moon, and he was able to live happily ever after. Now, Mark might be a fictional character, but his story is very much real. These are one of our first clients who we were able to help out through the algorithm, which is currently not fully automated. And there are 5 million more sellers who are currently in the e-commerce space. I well and truly believe that Xena will revolutionize the world of e-commerce once the fully automated app is built, and help the millions of business owners in the US. I'm Akhil Suresh, and this was Xena Intelligence. Thank you.
Great job, Akhil. And yeah, excited. Open it up to Tom and Stephanie. Again, any additional questions in the chat, or raise your hand as well. But yeah, happy to turn it over here.
Akhil, is it strictly for physical products, or is it for...
Paying that much attention, are you?
And we had 6 of them.
I'm sorry, somebody cut in.
Yeah, so you said if it was for physical products, so it's basically a software which sellers on Amazon can connect to. So Amazon has a marketplace of different softwares that sellers can use. So if one were to use this tool, it will basically automate the entire ads process, which is currently completely manual and takes hours at a day. So this tool kind of automates it and saves a lot of time for the small business owners.
So if I was promoting pre-startup, and that's a business, a coaching business, would your product be applicable to pre-startup?
Not currently, because currently what the product does is identify keywords which a person would be searching to purchase a particular thing online. But I think moving forward, to your point, I think services could also be a potential, because people are purchasing services online as well.
Because actually I just hired somebody to take and work on my keywords to promote my product and everything else. So that's why I was asking. So with that, I'll shut up because I can keep talking. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I'll let Kareem actually chime with his question, because I've been asking people questions all day and I like him, so you should ask it.
Thank you, Stephanie. Great presentation, Akhil. Quick question. So does the product work on other platforms besides Amazon? Like, does it work on Shopify, for example? And also, what's the charge for the product to the customer?
Right. So your answer is, to your answer, it's yes, it can be used on other platforms. The only entry level barrier is that the platform like Amazon and Walmart need to have APIs which could connect to my tool to make it all happen. So as long as the platforms have APIs, it is very much possible to do the same logic. And your second question was, how much it would.
So the price for the service, yes.
So currently we run a consulting model since the product is not automated. So currently we charge $2,000 per month plus 5% of overall sales on these platforms. But since once it's automated, we no longer have to hire all these people. I think we can charge it at a much lower rate, or just charge a percentage of the sales, because I think in the small business market, they're very price sensitive. And if we can offer a pricing which is dependent on the sales, I think they'd be more than happy to come on board.
So
yeah, go for it.
Sorry, just to dig a little bit deeper. So what would you say would be the next step down from 2,000 moving forward?
So we calculated it was about $99 per month plus 5%. So currently we have 4 clients who we consult with. So we asked them this question, like, how much would you be willing to pay? And of course, they have been working with us for so long, they won't let us go. But then I have a feeling that $99 is that sweet spot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then just one follow-up question that I guess was brought up. So thanks, Kareem. But basically, when you're mentioning that they have to have an API or something, I'm assuming, like, for small businesses, are you offering them like a managed service point or an agency or something to help a small business set that up? Because I don't think most of them, I mean, I don't even really fully understand APIs, and I've been in tech for a while now. But I'm just kind of curious, like, are you using that as like another revenue stream?
Yes, that I am using it as another revenue stream. So APIs is basically a system to connect a software to a platform. It's and even I recently understood that concept, so I wouldn't tell him. But yeah, it is an additional revenue stream.
But I guess maybe just to rephrase, like, they don't need the API, like just their Shopify would need an API to connect to you. Is that? Got it.
Which Shopify currently has. Shopify, Walmart, all the big players have. Even Etsy is going to launch. So I think Etsy would be the next target going forward.
And then you could help them connect.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Last question, how much are you looking to raise?
So recently I had done a valuation for $2 million pre-money. So I'm looking to raise $300,000 currently, primarily for team development and marketing, because as we all know, marketing to small business is a very expensive proposition. So I think we need to have a good cash reserve to make sure that we capture the SMB market.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, great questions all around from our judges and Kareem, and yeah, Akil, great presentation and responses there. So yeah, with that, excited to bring up Brent as our next presenter here.
How's it going, everyone? Brent Hassey with Flat. So after spending 10 years in the elevator industry, I've seen firsthand how $1 in proactive maintenance can save up to $100 in reactive repairs. As a homeowner, I question, why don't we take the same approach of caring for our largest asset, our homes? 64% of new millennial homeowners face regret after purchasing their home. The two largest factors are playing into that are the high unexpected maintenance costs for repairs and the physical act of doing these tasks. Flat is a technology-driven proactive approach to homeownership to help new homeowners flatten the cost curve and manage their asset. We compete in the growing prop tech market and are targeting a piece of the $400 billion home services industry. Flat can be compared to Angie's List or Thumbtack, but instead of connecting customers and suppliers, we provide a complete end-to-end proactive solution. The way people buy and live in their homes has changed due to technology. Now we need to change the way we care for them. The new millennial home buyer is part of the do-it-for-me generation who prefers convenience, ease, and a one-stop shop. So a Flat subscription includes biannual home checkups where we assess your entire home and perform frequently overlooked preventative maintenance tasks. We follow up with a wellness report and a capital planner. The report establishes a baseline for your house, and then the capital planner outlines suggested repairs based on urgency, and that's accompanied by our flat rate price with a link to book our services to our platform. Flat's home manager takes it from there to coordinate, schedule, manage, and even process the payment for the projects with one of our vetted local partners. This ensures a consistent, repeatable, high-quality level of service. As Flat grows and collects more data, we have the opportunity to be the Carfax for homes to assist insurance companies with loss prevention, home financing, home appraisals, landlord services, or anything with residential real estate. So help me make home ownership easy with Flat. Any questions from there?
Perfect. Yeah, great job. Open it up for questions there.
Yeah, just one quick question from this side, and I may have missed it. So in your platform, do you tell me who's fixing like my faucet, for example, or do I choose from people and then reach out to them?
No, that's what we're able to do. So instead of connecting the customers and the vendors, we're the ones that are playing that intermediary. And the biggest part of this is that home checkup, where as we come through your house, we're performing that assessment. And as we see things, we help point them out to you and educate you on that as well. So it's not just you reaching out and saying, my faucet's broken. We're looking to be proactive about this and try to catch that before it even happens.
Got it. And then I guess because I'm that person, I hate going to the car shop. Like I have to go and get my sticker renewed end of this month. And I understand it's approaching, but I don't want to because every time they try to sell me new things and I really hate it. So I guess like, how does that not become a thing?
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to remove. So I own rental properties, and whenever you have a plumber or HVAC person come, they're always have a quote unquote, a free quote for you. And then they come say, oh, I could do that for you for $200. But what we're able to do though, is since our home pros are going through and performing the home checkups, there's no pressure at that point. Once they do the home checkup, we're simply there to identify and provide recommendations, and then they're out of there. And then you're dealing either with our home manager. So then we're providing you suggestions, and if with the link, it's a lot easier just clicking it like Amazon versus having to go and be sold something. So when you're ready to do it, we're here for you. But when you're not, it's still very productive. Somebody check in on your house, because after you do your home inspection, no one steps foot in your house to give it an assessment for the duration of you living there. So we're looking to make that a little bit more proactive.
Gotcha. And then if I did want them to do those services you mentioned, I didn't want to wait, I could just.
You just click the button and then we handle it from there. So you're not dealing with someone trying to call you back or trying to schedule. You click the button, you schedule it through our Calendly API, and you go from there.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Brent, how much money are you looking to raise?
Yeah, I'm bootstrapping this right now by myself. Piloted it in Chicago and looking to raise eventually when I do get to that point for my forecast, 350,000 for an angel round. But right now, again, just bootstrapping it and going at it myself right now. So the $10,000 grant would go a long way.
Okay. And another question is, I understand all those people are showing up. Are they on your payroll or someone else's payroll?
For
like, if I have like the person coming over to fix my faucet.
Yep. So
like,
yeah. Yep. So we're the platform, and what we're able to do is the home pros. There's a lot of people within our communities who are great handymen, either plumbers, all these vendors. So they're the home pros that are going to be 1099 employees. So not quite like an Uber driver, but similar. Where we'll have multiple ones, and we have a whole training and background process through Checker, where we're checking backgrounds and then teaching them how to use the app that I've built out to perform these home checkups. And then for the more specialized items like roof, appliance repair, we have local partners who go and do that work. And the way we make money, the subscription is $3.99 for the year, includes the 2 home checkups. And then on top of that, when we do have a repair that's needed, we work with our partners. And because we're obviously able to buy in bulk and we provide them a service, because as we grow, they grow. And then we have a markup on that as well.
Got it. Thank you. And Tom, I did not mean to cut you off.
Do you carry the insurance?
So we do have some insurance, but it goes on to the home pros and to the vendors, because they have their insurance as well, where we're just the platform they're operating on.
Okay. Do you make sure they have insurance?
Yes. Yep. So we have that's part of our vendor checking, where we get a COI where we're listed as additionally insured, and then we call and verify their insurance as well.
Okay, great.
Great question though.
Perfect. Yeah, great questions, great responses. And yeah, again, the link is in the chat to check out Flat further. And yeah, with that, excited to bring out Patrick for our next presentation.
Hi, my name is Patrick Miramontes. I am a co-founder and the data science lead at Sigma 7, and I'm very excited to introduce you all to my company. Over the past few years, I was often asked the question, what should I invest in and why? During this same time, trading among average investors skyrocketed on platforms such as Reddit or Facebook. And after working in finance, I noticed a stark difference between the investment research solutions provided to average investors and institutional investors. More specifically, current solutions for retail investors do not reasonably serve retail investors when they attempt to answer the questions, what should I invest in and why? Current investment research platforms for average investors are too prescriptive and do not afford the user enough freedom to do the research the way they would prefer. And self-evident of this is the fact that most average investors now prefer conducting their research on platforms like Facebook or Reddit, rather than dedicated research platforms like Atom.finance or Simply Wall Street. With this in mind, Sigma 7 seeks to complement this trend. Sigma 7 is a simplified and collaborative financial analytics and research sandbox, allowing average investors to guide their own investment research. Unlike other platforms, we visualize all of our analytics in a simplified and intuitive manner for our users. And regardless of one's financial literacy, anyone can benefit from Sigma 7. Likewise, all of our products and dashboards are easily shareable on all platforms. From text messages to social media, with one copy and paste, you can easily send your investment ideas or dashboard to anybody. We've made a lot of progress on Sigma 7, and we will begin our closed beta in roughly 2 weeks. Thank you for your time and this opportunity, and best wishes to all other startups in this competition.
10 minutes. You can take, do you want to watch TV too?
Yeah. The noise. I muted some people. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's why I was looking and I couldn't find it because you'd already
done. I was like, okay, we're gonna fix it.
But yeah, great job there. And yeah, open it up to any questions here.
Yeah, so quick question. I actually have two quick questions, I think. So the first one is, you may have covered this, but is this for like an investor who's just like solo, not part of a firm, or are you selling to investment firms? And second, is this investment in like real estate or stock market or both? I just couldn't follow that one part.
Oh, great question. Yeah. So this is for cryptocurrencies and equities. And it's also for like the average investor. So not someone working at a firm. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming like they would just pay a fee to use your service and that's how you make money?
Yeah, so we're actually demoing it right now with a good bit of our users, and we're actually figuring out the cost of it. And that's not our only revenue stream, but the cost we're targeting is between $4 and $6 a month, and there will be a free version as well. So
you should not make it free if it's $4 a month. I'm just saying. Anyway, and then the follow-up question as well is selling to consumers is like not the easiest way to make money. So do you have any plans to sell to businesses?
Yeah, we are exploring that opportunity. I worked in finance. I live in Chicago, and I still do. And I've talked with some colleagues from my current job and prior ones. And while we are exploring that, our primary focus right now is feedback from retail or average investors. But I have talked with a few institutional money managers, for example, and they've expressed interest in the product. So we're still talking with them and exploring that, and maybe seeing how we could set up some sort of work with them. But right now, our main focus is still consumers.
Okay, and then last question, I promise I'll turn it over to Tom. But if it is consumers and you're only charging $4 a month and you might make it free, I really have to ask the question of how you're going to get that many users to sign up quickly.
Oh, so right now we're engaging in what I'd call guerrilla marketing. So I'm a part of a lot of online communities, from Discord to Reddit to Facebook, and we have a lot of users from that actually. And also a lot of so because our platform is shareable, our users actually share our platform when they want to talk about investments. So if you're on Reddit and you're posting about a cryptocurrency or a stock, you would actually link our platform just to show like the investment thesis behind it, right? That's kind of the nature of like why we're different. And that means that even if you're not even looking for our platform, you may stumble on it just in reading someone else's post or trying to see like why they think something is cool, because all of our investment theses are visualized and they're customizable by our users. So that's like it's got a bit of inorganic growth part to it, if that makes sense.
Yep, no, it does. Awesome. Tom, do you have questions before I hog all the time? You're muted right now. You're still muted, Tom, just so you know.
I'm sorry for that. Patrick, you say you're going to give it away for free. What's your upside to that?
So my upside, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have any more?
Yeah, my second question was, how much are you looking to raise?
We're looking to raise around $25,000. So me and my co-founder, we're both developers by trade. I've worked in this field for a good bit of 4 years now. And my co-founder is a web developer. So we don't actually have any labor costs right now. It's just data and platform costs. And I'm also experienced in the platform development. So that's why the costs seem a little minuscule for this. And then I'm sorry, your first question was?
Was you're giving it away for free. There's a free
yes.
version. And what's your backside to that to convert them?
Yeah, so to convert them, because our dashboards and our products are shareable, with that comes with kind of a necessity for people to at least be able to view it, which is why there, in my mind, needs to be some sort of free version. Otherwise, they'll be like pay gated as soon as they click it, and that doesn't really help our growth. But there is there probably will be a version that you pay for. So it's part of our funnel basically. And on top of that, that isn't our only revenue stream. We also sell our back end to other users and or institutions, right? So we have APIs that we use that I've built that are proprietary to us, and institutions. That's one of the things I've talked with them about. Have expressed interest in that. They've expressed interest in our dashboards, and we're also collecting data as well. So that's also something we'll be able to monetize.
Great, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, amazing job. And your link is in the chat there as well for anybody to continue the conversation.
Actually, one more thing, if I could add, our beta
Sure.
is in about 2 weeks, and if you're interested, you can go to sigma7.io.
Perfect.
Okay.
great timing on the pitch here then. With that, excited to bring up Alexandra and Gary for our next presentation here.
Hi, just before I get started, I just want to let everyone know that Gary will be asking the question. I'm hard of hearing. Sometimes I need extra help. So any question, Gary will help as well. Okay. All right. Just want to get started. People like me who are deaf or hard of hearing have great difficulty following conversation in the hearing world. We get lost in translation. Our company, The View, is here to solve a huge problem for 40 million underserved customers in the US, 1 million worldwide. We're here to help bridge the gap between those who can and cannot hear. I am Alexandra Cartier. I'm the founder of The View. Lack of communication for the deaf and hard of hearing is painful. We have 60% graduation rate and 70% unemployment. We're here to change that. Using patent pending technology, we have the solution to help millions of people chat anytime, anywhere, without missing a beat. And the View portable device that fits in pocket, while wearable glasses enable the user to see conversation where each speaker is located. It's like watching a real-time captioning. It's like real-life movie captioning. AI technology is here, and our smart devices are the answer for pain of being left out. And see these clunky glasses right here? From this? We're so excited. We're excited about our groundbreaking smart devices will be accessible and inclusive. Bingo, no more lost in translation. Who wants to join the conversation? Thank you.
So let me just make sure I'm understanding. So the glasses actually will caption the words as you're walking around. Is that correct?
And
That's correct.
Actually, okay, it's not true.
That is super cool. That's like really cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then it will become everyday glasses. These are actually industrial glasses, and these will be coming in this like the everyday glasses.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, great that we can actually see, see the product, and you brought that for us to see there. Yeah, really love how you presented it, and opening up to any questions here.
Is this currently live on the market?
No, it's not. We're pre-revenue. We're developing a desktop unit that we will be releasing this summer. And we plan to release our glasses at the end of next year. But we got a lot of work between here and now.
Oh yeah, I can definitely imagine you're mixing hardware and AI in one thing. So I can only imagine how tricky that is right now. For you guys, are you selling to the consumer? Or are you selling to businesses?
Primarily to the consumer. They're the ones that are going to need it.
Yep.
Once we establish enough people, then companies will be interested in, because this is part of their ADA compliance solution.
For sure. I'll actually reach out to you guys offline. I think there might be a good partner for you guys to actually get in front of a lot of businesses when you are ready. So I'll reach out to you guys. And then another super quick question is it just you two on the team, or do you have are you guys like the technical people making it? Are you outsourcing it? Who's kind of doing the work?
Okay, I'm the geek. Alexandra is the subject matter expert. She's hard of hearing. Another lady on our team also has hearing loss, and we have a marketing person. We're working with the University at Buffalo with students there to help us develop the prototype applications. We have a secure cloud platform for doing speech to text,
and they're helping us develop that. And so.
And then just one more question, and then I'll bounce it over to Tom. How much are you selling like the desktop version, which is coming out, and like how much does it actually cost to produce each of those units?
Okay, we're right now we're targeting the target price for the glasses is $1,500, and that's probably about $500 in cost. The desktop unit is about $200 and $80 in cost. Now those are retail prices. Once we get into production, we'll be able to control those costs. We also have a cell phone model where we sell the devices, but we also provide a subscription service. That's where the secure speech-to-text system comes in. Nobody wants their conversations out on the world. And that will be approximately $45 a month.
Gotcha. Tom?
How much are you looking to raise?
Okay, right now we're looking at 250K so we can start marketing, start work on the glasses, developing the prototype. That we need to hire some engineers to actually get going on that. So that's what the money is primarily used for, is to reach out to the market, go to conferences and show people what we're doing, but also start developing the prototype.
Where are you thinking of manufacturing these?
We would like to do it in the US. We also have some local vendors that do glass manufacturing, design, production, retail, and stuff like that. So that's what we were looking to work with.
Okay, how far along in that research are you now?
We have a preliminary design of how the system is going to work, and we know how to build the glasses. It's just a matter of building them and integrating the different systems and making sure that they work the way we think they should. So my background is in that, so that's, it's a nice concept, but now let's put it together and actually see it do something.
Right. Okay, other questions?
I think you did a great job asking all the questions there, and the team did a great job answering them. So yeah, really appreciate the pitch there, and excited to bring up our final presenter, Aon here. And also, so we're gonna have this one last presentation, then do a quick vote, and feedback from our judges, and then announce the winner at the end. So yeah, thanks again everyone for sticking around, and excited for this last presentation here.
All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
All right, we're ready. Yeah, you can take it away.
Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Ian McHale, and I'm the founder of Infinite 8 Industries Incorporated, a Colorado-based firm specializing in industrial artificial intelligence, or AI. I am a self-taught developer and engineer, 5-time author, and global speaker on the topic of AI. Our board has 6 PhDs and 3 medical doctors, with 2 who are Harvard and Stanford trained. Today, we address 3 issues plaguing widespread acceptance of AI in human society. 1, the lack of artificial intelligence talent globally. 2, the lack of general knowledge concerning use cases for AI. And 3, the exorbitant cloud costs required to create and deploy AI. Our flagship product, the Infinite AI Marketplace on a Chip, provides a suite of easy one-click AI applications for health, wellness, and smart cities. And instead of the expensive cloud, our apps run on hardware or the cloud using the fastest mobile chip ever. For example, our platform has the capability of using facial recognition technology to screen for symptoms of Alzheimer's, COVID-19, depression, autism, pain, and more. We are purely providing information and not professional advice. For our business model, we have a 2-tiered system. We lease our industrial device based on the number of persons or screenings to be offered monthly. $1,000 per month base, with additional costs for more than 500 persons who are screened. Next, we have a more academic model of our device, where we lease the device for 1 year for $500. We also charge $525 an hour for consulting and $2,500 for remote training. We have projected costs of $1.5 million with profitability of $11 million in year 1. We recently completed a $20,000 transaction within the last 30 days. We also have a $14 million account dedicated from Amazon's disease diagnostics initiative. And as far as future potential, our technology provides some of the most preventative healthcare analytics in the world. Thank you for your time.
Great pitch there. Excited to open it up to questions.
So basically, to make sure I'm just like understanding correctly, so it's like AI, but like for healthcare in an app. Am I following this correctly?
So this is actually the device.
Oh, I love show and tell. Sorry, go ahead.
so this is the device that we actually sold $20,000 worth of in the last 30 days. And so it's basically an embedded supercomputer. And then essentially we have the camera for different diagnostics. And then you can plug this into any screen or monitor. But we also have integrated this technology into a smart mirror. We've also integrated it into a vehicle for in-car diagnostics. We've also integrated it into a wearable version using augmented reality glasses. And we were using NVIDIA's Xavier AGX, but we've essentially been able to create a cheaper version of the technology.
Oh, that's super cool. That's really, really cool. Tom, are you gonna say something? I saw you.
Yeah, it seems like you're well along in your development. And I was wondering, what type of monies are you looking to raise, and what is it going to be applied to?
Great question, Tom. So essentially, right now we're having conversations with Amazon about an equity investment, anywhere between 2.5 to 5 million. Essentially, what we're trying to do is we're trying to scrounge together anything that we can in order to try to bring some more cash to the table from our end, anything from $100,000 up. As far as what it will be used for, we're actually working on, like right now we have a provisional patent that is being filed. And essentially we're looking to pay our attorney expenses so that we can finalize that. Also, we have a pilot program in a joint venture where an organization in India is going to fund a $100,000 pilot to screen 1,000 individuals in India for COVID-19. And so that also would pay for those travel expenses for that particular pilot program as well.
How are you currently finding all of these awesome companies that you're working with? Is it through referrals or something else?
So we use LinkedIn. We also use a Sales Navigator, for example, et cetera. And so, you know, we reach out to different companies and organizations that way. Also having an awesome board of directors and advisors that we reach out to and utilize those networks. We've partnered with the University of Colorado Springs, University of Nebraska Medical Center, NVIDIA, Oracle, Amazon. And so we just utilize our network.
Got it. And I'm so sorry if I missed this during the pitch. Is it just you on the team, or are there other people currently on your team?
So there's other people. So Dr. Sharon Waters, for example, she's won over $40 million in federal contracting. She's on our team as our Chief Innovation Officer. And then also Dr. Relief, who is a Stanford trained physician. He's also our Chief Medical Officer.
Gotcha. Awesome. You guys have done a lot. At least I don't know how long you guys have been around for, but you've done a lot by the time you got to this call.
We were founded in February.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, there we go. Awesome.
I just want to jump in for 1 second, where I do a lot of teaching in how we communicate and everything else. One thing that you always want to do when you're talking to money people and investors and venture people is make sure your number is clear, that you know what you want to raise, be it 100,000 or $1 million or whatever, but be very firm about that number so that I have the feeling that you've done the research and know what this money is going to be invested in. By kind of stumbling over it, it kind of leaves a loosey-goosey feeling in the mind. I'm just saying, when you talk to other people, and that's what pre-stop is about, is to make sure you're very clear about, here's what I need 100,000 for. It's for A, B, C, and D. Even if you don't tell people, in your mind, it's being projected out there. So that's just a little note on the side, things that I do, but I think it could be a big help, because you did a great presentation elsewise, and you got so much going for you.
Yeah, absolutely. But to address that, the first 100K primarily is going towards India and essentially getting the regulatory approval there, as well as right now we're working with the FDA doing the emergency use authorization, and the data that we have from India we'll be able to take to the United States, and we'll also be able to take it to Brazil. And so essentially we're just trying to get more data and verify our findings in India. But thank you for the advice, and I understand, but thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, great job. Great advice and questions all around here. And just want to give a round of applause to everybody that pitched tonight. They were all amazing presentations. And yeah, really, really inspired by what all of you guys have developed here. So with that, the final phase in tonight's event, I'm going to start individual chats with our judges here, but I'm also going to open up, hopefully this works. Yeah, I'm going to open up a poll for the audience voting as well. So you guys can submit who your favorite company from tonight was. And yeah, feel free to chat in the chat as well for the last couple minutes as we tally some votes here.
Thanks, Jason.
Tom, did you get my message?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'll send it again here.
Where are you sending it to?
Oh, just in the chat.
Okay, let's go. Oh, okay. I didn't get that. Okay.
You guys are all so quiet. This is so intense right now.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on Shark Tank or something. Honestly, I think this is the closest to ever feeling like I'm on Shark Tank. I'm like, ooh, ask all of the questions now.
I could start talking, Stephanie, if you want me to, but that's when the bad joke's going to start happening.
Please go for it. I love myself a bad joke. It's been a bit.
Okay. Have you heard about the new robot that just rolled out of the Nordics?
No.
It's the artificial sweetener.
Oh my god. It was so bad. Oh my god, Steve, that was so bad.
Maybe I should make use of that mute button. What do you think? I think I'm going to do that right now.
Nah. You guys all need I don't know. It's end of day Wednesday. I feel like it's already like Friday at this point. So I don't know about everyone else that's been on calls literally back to back since 7:30 today. So
yeah.
I knew that was Steve just by the joke.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Jason?
Obviously.
The minute anyone has a bad joke, you know it's Steve.
I feel the love. I really do.
Also, you should all sign for Startup Week if you're on this line. It's in September and it's free to go, so you totally should.
Are you doing it remotely? Or are you doing it in person, Stephanie?
We are going to do all panels and workshops virtually, and then we are going to do networking in person because you can like learn the same online, but nothing really replaces the in-person networking.
Where are you going to do your networking?
gonna figure that out. We're talking to quite a few venues, still trying to piece everything together.
Okay. Okay, talk to me. I may have a couple places that I can recommend.
Yeah, for sure. We're close to closing it on a few of them already, but I'll definitely let you know because we're not doing a ton of in-person events just with the way the schedule is, and never know what's going to happen, but more to come.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, with that, I'm excited to announce the winner of tonight is a Go-Go's. So yeah, they'll be going to the chapter final, or the startup grind final, competing against the other winners from the other chapter events, and they have the opportunity to win $10,000 or more in prizes from the Pitch.Tech competition. So yeah, really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Great presentations all around, and yeah, great job, Stephanie and Tom, on all the questions, the feedback, and great job. Yeah, thanks again, everybody that came out here.
Yeah, also you guys all did a fabulous job. And Brent, you definitely were like, you have the consumer favorite vote right there. So you're in the right market and place for it for sure. All 43 people better sign up to your platform right now.
There you go. Appreciate it.
I feel like some of you guys are going to have new customers from tonight as well. So great job, everyone.
Hey, there's an event going on over the warehouse right now, Mass Professional Networking with Jeff DeSocia. That's where I'm heading to, driving into Boston now. It's on Broad Street. So it's the first networking event of the year to speak of. So maybe I'll see some of you over there.
Sounds good. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jeff, I said hi.
We'll do. Steve, are you coming?
Not sure yet. Probably not. So just tell Jeff I said hey.
Okay.
All right, guys. It was awesome to meet you.
Thank you
I'm probably
all.
going to go and connect with you all on LinkedIn because I need to stay in the loop. All right.
Yes.
I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Great
Thank
job
you.
all.